It's 6 p.m., so go ahead and call the meeting to order, please. Roll call.
Dean.
Here.
Gaston. Here. Grace.
Here. Wonderful. Please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. A copy of the Open Meetings Act is posted on the wall here in the Legend Golf Course Clubhouse. It is also available in pamphlet form and on the link that's provided within the agenda. We're going to move agenda item number 12 to be first tonight. It would be approve, disapprove mayor's appointee for new council, letter of interest from Brian Fromm. Do I have a motion?
Motion to accept Brian Fromm as the new council member.
Second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Roll call.
Dean.
Yes.
Gaston. Yes. Grant.
Yes. Thank you, Brian. You're welcome.
Oath of office. Yeah.
I get to
You do.
Changed it.
That's how it's been.
I'm sorry. All officers of the city, whether elected or appointed, shall before entering upon the duties of their respective duties declare and subscribe the following oath or affirmation. I, Brian Fromm, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Nebraska against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear truth, faith, and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely and without mental reservation or for the purpose of evasion, and that I will faithfully and impartially perform the duties of the office of council member according to law and to the best of my ability. And I do further swear that I do not advocate nor am I a member of any political party or organization that advocates for the overthrow of the government of the United States or this state by force or violence. Now, during such time as I am in this position, I will not advocate nor become a member of any political party or organization that advocates the overthrow of the government of the United States or this state by force or violence. So help me God. This oath or affirmation so scribed shall be filed by the city office of the city clerk.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good grief. Yeah. Oh, my God.
Thank you, Brian, for joining us. We will go ahead and start back up on number 5. Go to consent agenda now that we've got more report. All right, A, approval of December 22nd, 2025 regular meeting minutes and January 2nd, 2026 special meeting. B, approve purchase of light bulbs for the baseball field. Currently 9 lights are out. They are requesting to purchase 2 cases or 12 bulbs at $60 a piece per bulb. C, approve park board authorization for the American Legion to replace the sewer septic system at Legion Hall due to a system backup. The Legion will be responsible for providing all equipment, funding, and manpower required for this project. Do I have a motion for these 3 consent agenda items?
I would like to remove B and take no action at this time. Met with Roger yesterday, and after talking with Jared as well, yeah, we could order new bulbs, but that might not be the problem. You got ballasts that are, $250, $300 a piece that could be the issue. So we kind of need to figure out
Delayed for investigation.
what we're gonna do, yeah.
Sure. So your motion is to just accept items A and C.
A and C, yes.
Do I have a second?
With that,
Okay. From second. Roll call, please.
Dean,
Yes.
Vaughn,
yes.
Gaston,
Thank you. And we'll start with our reports. A report from the Park and Cemetery.
okay? I make a suggestion that we move number 6, and 7 before reports. It was supposed to be higher because he has a meeting in Hot Springs
Oh, and we need to make it for that.
immediately
that-
after his.
Thank you.
Is that
Sure,
right?
we can do that
Is
quick.
okay?
That's completely
Sorry,
reasonable.
didn't realize
No, that's
that
okay.
was-
We're already mixing in with me just as well. So we'll temporarily halt the reports and we'll move down to item number 6 under ordinances and resolutions. We want to open and receive comments for the 1 and 6 year plan. We'll open it at 6:06.
I appreciate you moving
You
things
bet.
around for me. I don't usually have 2 meetings in the night, but this year it worked out very well. For the 1 and 6 plan this year, after I think everybody had a copy of it. And the second page would be the, let's see, third page, excuse me. It's gonna be third page, and there is a summary of 1 and 6 year plan, looks like these. Got the 8 projects that we put the projects together last year, and not much has changed, so even projects carrying on year to year. Incidentally, I need to say, this is not the 1 and 6 plan is just that, it's a plan, it's not, you don't have to complete anything on it, it's just a plan for going forward for your street. In order to get your allocation. Of the 8 projects, there are 8 separate sheets like this one, with a separate project information on it. I won't go through all of that, it's there for your reading if you like. The map is easiest to look at the projects on, visualize where they go. The main project that we wanted to complete was the Sale Barn Road drainage project, and that is set up in year 1 on that sheet. The rest of them are recommended for the following through 6 years. So, if your pages are in order, the third page or second page would be a report of previous year, and put on their maintenance and for now. And then we come to the resolution certification. And the last 2 pages are the budget. We need to show the state that we've matched 25% of the highway allocation funds every year with local funds. As you can see, the highway allocation funds were very high this year because last year they delayed about 6 of the payments, so they came in this year. So you're not going to make your 25% this year. But I included last year's on the last page of the report. Included it to show that extra match was provided last year to cover those funds. So, any questions?
So with that proof of last year, then that still keeps us safe to match the same exact funds we had plans, or do we need to come up with additional funds to match the rates this year?
No, you should be,
We're good
you
with
should
that,
be fine.
provided for-
You
okay.
provided them last year, and then they hadn't actually
Their part.
made the allocation fund payments yet.
Sure, thank you.
So you're, it should be just
Good.
fine. Anything else?
Questions or comments? I don't believe we do. Okay, well, we will go ahead and close the hearing, 6:11. We will move to number 7, to approve resolution 2026-01, adoption of the 1 and 6 year plan. I just need to read this section. Oh, okay. So just a motion for approval for that.
Make a motion to approve the 1 and 6 year plan for 2026.
Thank you. I have Dean with the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. Roll call.
Lee,
Yes.
Gaston,
Yes.
Brown.
I'm gonna abstain, I haven't had enough time to really. Thank you.
Fair, thank you. Oh, yeah. Yes. Number 8, discuss, approve, disapprove, third reading, and discussion of golf cart ordinance number 701.
You can probably go back to the recording.
Oh, yes, sorry. I got excited, keep going. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for catching that.
Thank you. Thank you.
The park reports now.
Okay, our board met this past week, and most of what we dealt with you saw in your consent agenda with the lights for the baseball field, and then American Legion being really concerned about their sewer system. So I am so happy that we're gonna figure out how to get that stuff fixed. One of the things that we did do is get an update from the pool committee. It's actually, we have a little different, we're not a committee, we are Friends of the Crawford Pool, and that's the official title. And we have gotten 501c3 designation through the Crawford Area Fund, and so we are a fund within them. And I'm so excited about that because we had some pretty good sized checks come in at the end of the year. So that's awesome. People are hearing about us. Some of that alumni, one of my husband's alumni, friends from alumni was there, and he said, wow, can we just send a check? Yeah, it works good, and it's a great organization. It just fits the need, you know, and then they said, no problem. So that's been awesome. Right now we have a hamburger raffle going on, 100 pounds of hamburger from the Grims, the kids, and we've got tickets, but they're going fast, and we're gonna draw for 5 winners on Valentine's Day. And we have the Roy Gardard Challenge. Roy has thrown down his $500 and said, the challenge, everybody, and so we want to try and make that a little more public. We talked about a video with Roy. Let's see, Brooke was supposed to break that news to him, but we'll see how that goes. So anyway, any questions on Park Board?
No questions, but I will just add to that really quick. I followed up with Pat O'Brien over at the NRD to verify that we got everything in for that application for grant, for that forestry grant to have the new trees and replacement trees and all that service come to our area. And he said everything was not a problem and submitted by December 31st. So we look forward to hearing back from them.
Awesome, awesome. And I did check whether or not, because we had talked about whether or not our Park Board needed to have a retitling of tree board or something.
Not for that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I found out, so I don't need to do that. Another thing that is going to happen in about 2 weeks, I've got the original assessment of the trees. We're going to have Caden Bowers come back from the State Forest Service and give us his all the numbers. So
Wonderful.
Yeah, we'll know more what we have.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Library report?
Yes.
And there's a copy for each of the council members, if you'd be so kind as to pass them down. I aspire to get them into the packet on the appropriate time frames in the future. But, so it was a pretty great December for the library. It marks the end of the first quarter of the fiscal year as well. So, the chart that I am showing the council is a copy of the actual vital stats that I keep record of at the library. So it's a lot of what you've heard before, but in a little finer detail. But December was a little low for patronage and visits, which is normal for December with the holidays and most people traveling. But despite that, our circulations of physical and digital materials held steady. So people were still reading over the holidays. Let's see, moving on to upcoming events. In line with the city's new holiday policy, the library will be closed on next Monday for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So we'll be resuming business as normal the following day. Elsewhere, the reading group will be meeting on February 6th at its new time of 12 p.m. at the library, and that's been really fun so far. And then there will be a Board of Trustees meeting on February 9th at its new date and time, which is the second Monday of the month at 12 p.m. in the library. So I'll be sure to see that that's updated on the city's web pages and stuff. An exciting update on the meeting room. So last year we had a lot of renovations done and restoration to the meeting room in the library to include a very generous contribution of beautiful whiteboard, restored floor, and that sort of thing. But just this week, over the weekend, we had a generously donated smart TV, a great big smart TV with HDMI connectability, mounted and placed in the meeting room. So that will afford the goal of being able to do telehealth appointments, Zoom meetings, small trainings and stuff with small groups. So by all means, come visit and see it. It's gorgeous. It's mounted beautifully. And that's a big thank you to Tony and Robin Stetson for donating the TV, and Tony Storbeck and the other Tony mounted it over the weekend. So we're very grateful to them for making such a huge improvement in the library. Elsewhere, the winter reading program concluded last Friday, and that was kind of our first winter reading program since I've been librarian at least. And we had 17 participants ranging in age from 3 to 70 years old, and collectively they read an impressive 88 hours, or the equivalent of about 8,800 pages worth of reading. So it was a 6-week program. That's a lot of reading to accomplish in that time, so we're very proud of all our participants. They had a lot of fun with it, and it'll be a recurring thing going into the future. Speaking of new programs, starting in February, I've got a series of programs that will be introduced on a monthly basis. So one of them is called Cultivate You, and it's a personal and professional development program series intended especially for adults that will feature sort of self-improvement, or professional development opportunities and lifelong learning opportunities as well. So it's meant to have presenters who might come in and speak about personal finance, how to manage a household budget or maybe a small business budget, to how to write professional documents like resumes and CVs, all the way up to useful practical skills for any person, such as public speaking. So I hope to reach out to a lot of different presenters and people in different fields with different skills to help empower and enrich the people in our community. So I'm very excited about that one. That one will start taking place on the first Mondays of the month at 5 p.m. in the library. And again, that starts in February. All of these will start in February. The next thing is an alternating movie night and trivia night that'll take place on the third Tuesdays of even and odd months for trivia nights and movie nights respectively. This will all be on the library's calendar too, so you don't have to remember this by heart or anything. But those have both been highly popular and highly requested events. So those usually turn out good showings of patrons and community members. The last event that is gonna be introduced on a recurring basis, and you may have heard about it already, but we're gonna have, by popular demand from very young patrons, is a crochet and knitting club. And so anytime I get a direct request from a child patron for programming, it is my utmost desire to meet that request, because to have them speak to you directly is a feat and a joy. So I'm excited to put that one on, but this crochet and knitting club is intended for aspiring crafters as well as experienced ones, and the hope is that if we all gather together, that we can all kind of share our skills, learn some new ones, and get excited about the sheer variety of projects that people have already told me they want to bring to this club. So that one we're very excited about. That'll be the 4th Fridays of the month at 1:30 p.m. in the library. So late enough for kids getting out of school to make it as well. And then the last thing I wanted to mention is, with the conclusion of the first quarter, I just wanted to do a little library department budget check-in. This calendar year, for example, we will see savings of $18.95 on each Mobius bill, because the library got hooked up via the Nebraska Library Commission with online data storage. So like our files that we keep on our computers are now backed up for free through a program that they have partnered with Microsoft for. And so I don't need the backup services that we've been paying Mobius for on that machine. So that'll be a small but a long-term notable savings, I hope. I think Terry can agree that every dollar and cent counts. So, but what's cool about that is the budget area that comes out of for our department, the savings that would afford us for the rest of the fiscal year will also aid in the eventual transition from our overpriced, inequipped library management system to a better one. So, but I'll have more information on that improved ILS, integrated library system, to present to the council as that information develops a little more. But in summary, the library's budget is right on par with the first quarter. We're literally at 25% so of our budget. So are there any questions for me? I know I dumped a lot of information there. Great, thank you.
Thank you for the new plan, the new program, and the new savings. Okay, waste and water, please.
So to start with, we did get a bid on the 2nd, and we reached out to that company the following Monday, and in talking with them, they are planning on being out here the week of February 2nd for the whole week, other than travel time here and back on Monday and Friday. Their initial goals are to get a good initial setup on what does work, what doesn't work, what is communicating to we're with the system currently. They're going to get us a new workstation. They're going to try and with the workstation, it's going to have upgraded cybersecurity as well as upgraded software and licensing from the current system we have. And so, like I said, once they get that in place, then they're going to start troubleshooting everything, seeing what does and doesn't talk to each other. And then from there, they're going to have a better idea of what needs replaced and what just needs upgraded. Also, we got the security grant. Initially, they told us we didn't. Enough people didn't pick it up, so we did get that. It is a $10,000 grant, which we have to pay 10% of. So as long as we pay 10% of it, we can go up to $10,000. So it can be any range of dollar amount, but we need that. What's that?
It's a $10,000 grant, so we can actually run our budget up to like 11.
Oh, okay.
11,000, and they'll cover, as long as we cover 90% of it, they'll cover up to $10,000. So we'd have to take.
Oh, okay.
The
Yeah.
10%.
Yeah, so it's 10,000. We have to pay one, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, well,
The total
over
of
the 10,000.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
There you go.
We did get the new Allen tank, and we're working on getting that installed as well as we did help with the removal, or the taking down the Christmas lights and removal of trees. And that's my big talking points, if anybody had any questions.
Thank you, Dennis. Thanks for the additional clarification. Back to Ames. Get there. Discuss, approve, disapprove the third reading and discussion of the golf cart ordinance, ordinance number 701. There it is, right? Okay. All right, ordinance number 701, golf cart and low-speed vehicle ordinance. An ordinance of the city of Crawford, Nebraska, creating chapter 3, section 3-423, relating to golf carts and low-speed vehicles to allow the operation of golf carts and low-speed vehicles within the corporation limits under certain circumstances, to impose restrictions on the use of golf carts and low-speed vehicles, to establish penalties for violation, to repeal conflicting ordinances, and to provide for the publication of this ordinance and prescribe the time when this ordinance shall be in full force and effect. We don't have any additional concerns or questions?
I've got one concern here. It says the highways here that we can operate as long as it's within city limits. If I understand right, Highway 71 and Highway 20, both, we are city limits with the yellow line, the center line in towards the city, is that correct? So,
It's a state highway all the way through town.
I understand that, but if I remember right, and I would have to look back and see, but we are in control of the inside part of the center line. That is our responsibility. Is that within city limits?
We have an agreement with the state to maintain portions of that.
So,
Within the city limits.
so this year, it allows them to operate on that
They can only
highway?
go across. You read it.
It says within,
Golf cart may not be driven on Highway 20 and Highway 271 except to cross that highway, such
okay,
crossing.
and right here it says, okay, it's got that clarification, okay. I haven't had a
Number
chance
4.
to-
Says a golf cart or low-speed vehicle may not be driven on Highway 20 and Highway 271, except across said highways. Such crossings will be made at an angle of approximately 90 degrees to the direction of the highway and at a place where no obstruction prevents a quick and safe crossing. It goes on to tell you how to stop and look.
Perfect, okay. Got it.
Question?
So my question is this is a four-wheeled vehicle, is what we're talking about?
It talks about golf carts and low-speed vehicles.
Okay, so my question then is the three-wheeled bikes that a lot of people ride around town.
The ordinance defines, and state statute defines what a golf cart and a low-speed vehicle are.
Okay,
It has. that
Three
right.
wheels are not defined.
okay, but it's a four-wheel.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Any other questions, comments, concerns? Okay, do we have a motion to accept the third hearing?
I will make that motion, that we accept the third hearing of the golf cart and low-speed vehicle ordinance.
Okay, so motion to approve from, oh, I think twice about that. And do I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Second from Dean?
So from
Yes.
Dean,
Yes.
Gaston, yes.
Thank you. Number 9, discuss, approve, disapprove, resolution 2025-19 to set golf cart permit fees. So these fees will be what the annual fee to register with the city would be in order to be within the
We discussed
Resolution.
$50.
It's $50.
And
Still
we're
stands?
concerned about the stickers, we received them yesterday, so we have
Wonderful.
the permit stickers, whatever they.
Great timing. April? Oh, sure.
So is that $50 for the whole year, right?
It'll be an annual fee, so it
So like
it works
if you get
really
it in
similar to like
July,
a park permit.
It'll go through the,
Yeah, so
July.
it'll start
No,
January 1
it's,
and it goes through December
If you get-
31st.
if you get it December 15th, it expires December 31st for a new year.
So just like a park permit, it's only good for the year. So if you buy it, yeah, it's prorated if you buy it within
And
the
what do
middle
you-
of the year
where's the $50 gonna go to?
into the city budget.
Administration, taking
dealing with the paperwork to get the permits out, it won't take all of it, I guess, but, cause I don't know how many of these you're gonna get, but the stickers that they had to order for you to get on your vehicle, just labor time.
So do we still have to have insurance on it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's part of it. You'll provide, when you go to the city hall, you'll provide proof of insurance and proof of a valid driver's license. And I believe those are the only 2 items, and with those 2 items, then you can purchase your permit for your vehicle. And it'll tell you where to put it on said vehicle so that it can be
And those are state
recognized.
statute, our ordinance just mirrors what the state statute says has to be. The insurance and the licensure are required by the state as well.
So how did you come up with like $50 charge?
That was,
I have a friend in Waverly that the town down there only charges them 10.
That's a decision here on the 50.
Okay.
just discussion.
It's kind of a shot in the dark because they don't know how much time or effort it's gonna take. It may not necessarily, they can always change that at a later date if they need to. If the year's rolling around.
Okay.
Shadow's considering it too, and it might be more than $50. So
Okay.
it's just based on, I think what you need, really it should be what's based, the administration of it.
So what about 4-wheelers?
That's a different.
That's a different
That's a
thing.
UTV, that's
Okay,
different.
that's-
We
okay,
have
that's good to
that
know.
in some ordinance, but that's a different thing.
Okay. Good.
so I would like to see the funds applied to helping maintain the trail that we'll get to in a little bit.
When you budget.
Okay.
And there'll be some of that too.
What's that?
If the city's gotta maintain the trail to get out here, then they may wanna use those funds, that's a good point. That may be something they wanna use the funds to do from the licensure fees. So.
So the golf cart can't go along the highway?
No,
We gotta come across
yes,
where you guys are talking.
golf carts and highways are, other than the language in the ordinance says you can cross so if you're going to the store,
Right.
you can cross the highway as close to 90-degree angle as you can.
Mhm.
But the state doesn't allow golf carts or low-speed vehicles on highways,
Right.
so.
Yeah.
There'll be a learning curve about this.
Any other questions or concerns?
And then we should also specify that this doesn't actually go into effect until after it's been published for 15 days.
15 days out, yeah. So it doesn't, it's not the law tomorrow. Wait, 1st of February.
February 1st, yeah.
So it's when it'll take effect.
So the stickers have the year that they're posted in?
Yes.
Like a certain color for every different year? or
Each year
just
will be a
Every
different
year, so that they can distinguish from afar.
Yeah.
Carrie, yeah, show them the sticker.
It won't be that size, but that's so you can see it. It really is that big. Okay, well, it's big enough to see.
Take up half your golf cart. You'll be good, you'll be able to see it.
Good practice.
You did a good job.
So that was a resolution. So where can I talk about the trail to get out here?
And we're up with a discussion at this point. I would think that would be just fine.
Okay. So we, not yesterday, Sunday, I met with the White River Trail Committee, and we decided that, that using the trail between the ball fields to come out here, and cross the old rail bed at a 90-degree, would be, they would be all right with that. They did ask for a couple of things to happen. They would like to get some bollards installed on the old rail bed.
Is that where this starts?
So we would, the golf carts could drive up this trail here and cross, but they would like to get some ballards put in here to prevent, so that it's obvious, don't drive on the rest of the trail. And since we own it, that's their request.
Sure.
Also, they, we talked about adding some dirt and maybe a small culvert on the west side of the rail bed, so that the golf carts could travel flat all the way across, so they're not spinning out across the trail as they're leaving
So it
here and
doesn't
going
hump,
up.
sure.
Yes. So,
And I think the golf board after that sounded, the last time we spoke to them about this, that they would be open to helping accept the changes on
Yes.
that side.
yes.
So we can present that to them, okay?
And, I did talk to them yesterday about the fence, and they don't feel that the fence is necessary, because it's been down for at least a decade, and all it was a pasture fence anyway. I was under the understanding that it was like a woven wire fence, but it's just been a barbed wire fence, so the golf board does not feel that it's necessary to put the fence back up. Yeah, maybe we should take it completely out.
It's just not hanging.
And the other thing that we talked about, and I think it's a good idea, is that since we've now determined that the city does own the trail, that we work on a new ordinance with penalties included, for not following the rules on the trail, including, Jenny, you have a picture of that sign?
Yes.
Is that the one at the start that talks about no motorized and no horses?
No horses, no alcohol.
It's the same one that's being used, in the Shattern area.
Let's see if I can-
I'll check and see if they've got.
But wouldn't it be, since we do own it, wouldn't it be better to have our own ordinance, for law enforcement?
For this section.
Yes.
So here's what that sign.
And that's what already exists there, that's what you'd like to see?
That's what we'd like to see.
We'll go
Sure.
through what's really.
Sure, that's fair. And now, how many and where would we like to put them?
How many? Where would you like to put them? I'm looking at the committee.
Just a couple changes.
The trail goes, yeah, I'm thinking,
Sure.
Just two, at minimum.
At the entrance by the ballparks and at the entrance by the park?
Probably
That would
where,
be two.
probably where it crosses the trail right there.
So just two, one facing each way, but not at the entrance of the park?
It wouldn't be a bad idea.
that would be a good one too, yeah.
And they're also probably, since you're going that extreme, probably should be going right here, at the highway.
Yeah, especially because when we do see horses, they're always coming from the fort this way. So,
You're gonna go meet with the fort, request them to put them on their end too, so that way they can keep that direction?
Yeah.
Please. That would be much appreciated too. I know when I walk the park, I walk the path, I can appreciate what you guys do on our half, and it always gets rough on their half, so I do appreciate what you do.
April, there already are signs coming from the ball diamond up this way.
Correct,
There's
but they do
always-
not state what she has on that sign.
Okay.
They're not that specific, but they do.
Okay, and I believe many of the rules we have for the park would carry over to that property.
Because it's considered part of, when we
it's
made that
part of
park ordinance, we
city.
considered that park.
So we may not have to create an ordinance, we just need to see what we are covered for and what we're not. So signs are fine. Alcohol be verboten.
And then do you still want to use because we had a resident volunteer to donate 2 stop signs to put on each side. Is that something you're still interested in, or you don't care to have that?
We don't really care to have stop signs because we don't want them to stop, and then maybe have to gain some speed, and maybe
Okay.
that might wreck them.
I'm
But
worried-
on that
but
green
I'm
sign,
worried-
does it say yield to pedestrians?
But I'm worried about that
Yeah.
from the liability standpoint.
Of running somebody over because they're just gonna
I think
continue
we need to do
through.
some work on the, this isn't legal, it's just,
Could put a yield.
Well, there needs to be some kind of signage now, because otherwise we have a liability exposure, I think. But I think we maybe need to work on the access points to the trail. So like you talked about, it's not uphill, so we don't have people peeling. But if it's a level surface on both sides, going across,
Sure.
they stop, they leave, they go across. But I would be very worried about the liability if we don't have some kind of sign on both sides. Because somebody just goes blowing across there, not paying attention,
A
and
walker
hits a
or
walker,
somebody in bike, yeah.
then why didn't we have a sign? That's where it's gonna come down to. So,
There again, that could be trial by error. You know, we can see how it works for a year. If we need to change it, we'll change it. You
Yeah.
know, but let's start, let's let's.
dude, I would ask that we do it the safe way first. And if
Safe way
it's causing a
first,
problem, we need to, then with the trail, then fine, let's work on the trail and figure out a way to make it better.
I believe that Irene already has purchased.
She has
the
already
signs.
purchased them, is my understanding
So,
too.
but if
She was
it's-
willing to donate.
But if it's a gravel situation, then let's figure out how to make that a level entry exit point, so we don't have people spinning their wheels.
So would that be something that the city and the golf board?
City and the golf board, yeah. Some of it we may have to adjust as we go anyway, because we don't know how it's all gonna play out. We don't know what the traffic's gonna be for sure.
This is probably the same kind of warning you're talking about for warning golf carts crossing the trail. Probably needs to be put at the entrance into the ballparks as well, so that children and
I
visitors
think
and
children
all
at
things-
play signs or something. I don't disagree with you. Signage is important.
Liability.
Do you have any comments, Kevin?
I abstain.
So I have a question on the track on the west side. Are you going to, you say you put a culvert in for water flow?
So we talked about it last night, that it's a very small ditch, and,
Right.
and, Blue thought that she could get some of that, 6-inch, poly pipe from the mine. They have, you know, throwaway sections out there. Just throw that down, a couple of those down, just so that, it doesn't hold water there, create more,
And then
mosquitoes.
is the golf board providing the rock or the layover, the dirt or whatever you're gonna put in over the top there?
So
Or is that the city?
Jay Suker said that he was gonna volunteer to build this thing.
And it
he's
had
got
been
a
spoken
skid
at one
steer.
time too, that the men's league was interested in helping make sure that the path could come from where the trail crosses to where they needed it at the golf course, so that it makes sure to stay where they want it to go,
Right,
to not
that was
affect
my
the
other
course.
question, was that the golf course is gonna stipulate where the path goes, ties into, and
So
where
it
they're
doesn't
gonna
cause
trail.
damage on their side.
You know, we want it to go to this building.
Right, I
So
understand,
people
yeah.
aren't just
Yes.
taking it across the
Okay.
golf course.
Did that cover all that you had? Okay, any other questions or concerns? Okay, well, I will accept a motion for resolution 25.19.
I move that we accept this golf cart, resolution 2026, no, where we at? 25,
That one.
19. I knew I was which one I wanted, I couldn't find it.
Good, getting back into it.
Yeah.
All right, we've got a motion to accept resolution 2025-19 from Fromm. Do I have a second?
Setting the fee at 50.
Yes.
I'll second.
Second from Dean.
Ron,
Yes.
Dean,
Yes.
Gaston. Yes.
Thank you. Number 10, discuss, approve, disapprove corrected golf cart and low speed vehicle registration form. I believe we had made one small change towards maybe one of the readings, and this is just to approve what we finally came to.
I make a motion to accept the corrected, golf cart registration form.
I have a motion from Dean. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Motion, or second from Gaston. Roll call.
Dean,
Yes.
Gaston?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Thank you. Number 11, discuss, approve, disapprove resolution 2026-2 to enter interlocal agreement membership with League Insurance Government Health Team Annual Wear Benefits. That's a mouthful. For health insurance coverage. Terry, would you
This was the.
explain to us what this is
Yeah,
again?
this was our health insurance change that I brought in at the last meeting, saving us $44,000 a year. And this is just the resolution and the agreement in order for us to join and
Right.
make that happen.
And this is a very similar setup. We moved our property and liability insurance to LARM, which is an
Yes.
interlocal agreement membership between multiple, well, and it's, yeah, provided by legal municipalities. This is a very similar setup, only for health insurance, so that's how she found the savings with this.
Yeah.
Do I have a motion for approval?
I make a motion to approve resolution 2026-02 on the insurance.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Dean, roll call.
Gaston?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Brown?
I'm gonna abstain, I haven't got to read this.
Sure. Do I need to vote then? Okay, we're good. Thank you. Number 12, we did that, we're very thankful for it. Thank you again, Brian Fromm. Number 13, discuss, approve, disapprove, appointing new council president. We do need to reestablish that role. Discussion?
Not me, tag you're in.
I'll open it to discussion.
I figured it's probably my time, so I'm all right with it, if everybody else is.
Do I have a motion to, or do I have somebody who would like to make that a motion?
I'll make
It's not
that a
Chris.
motion, tag you're it.
A motion from Fromm to appoint Dean as new council president. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Seconded by Gaston. Roll call.
Brown?
Yes.
Gaston?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Christopher Dean, thank you. All right. Number 14, discuss, approve, disapprove new library board of trustees member, Norma Horkey. And I'd like to just also include and add, thank you so many for stepping forward and helping us fill the vacancies that we've had. This is encouraging to see people with the bravery to take, to step forward and be a part of the challenges that it means to serve your community and be of public service. So thank you, it's much appreciated. Do I have a motion to approve the new library board of trustee member nominated?
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Dean, second by Fromm. Roll call.
Dean?
Yes.
Brown? Gaston?
Thank you, Nicole. 15, discuss, approve, disapprove proposed escort route for the wall from Roger Campbell. He will also be giving an update on the Vietnam Wall and take questions at this time.
I don't know whether I'll be here when the wall gets here. I'm down to Hillside.
We're counting on you on that.
Thanks for letting me be on the agenda tonight. The main purpose is, number one, we want to tell you what the escort route is that's going to come through town and get your approval. We've already presented our escort route to the Nebraska Highway Patrol and the Dawes County Sheriff, and they have approved it. So I'll go over that now if I can. We're gonna meet at mile marker 46 on Highway 20, which is about 17 miles east of Crawford. The escort can only be 20 miles long. We have about 150 motorcyclists that have already said they're signing up and want to be part of the escort. But we'll come on east to toward Crawford, and at the monument out there for the Crow Butte, we're expecting vehicles then to come in and join the escort. EMT trucks, fire trucks, more police escorts, and just residents that want to be part of the escort. We'll come on into town and we're going to turn right and go down Main Street. We'll go down Main and then we'd like to turn left and go up Second so that we can go through the business District, and we'd like to go up to Paddock. And then we're gonna turn over to go to First Street so that we can go past Ponderosa Villa. We wanna really make sure we give those folks an opportunity to get out and see what's gonna happen. And then we'll go up to Reed, and we'll take Reed, and that'll take us right into the ballpark area. And there's a large gate down there on the first base side that we'll go in, and then we'll set up the escort on, or we'll set up the wall on the ball field. So if that's okay, and we have a set of rules and regulations that the wall people gave us, but we added some disclaimers in there and some things like that too, that, and what they're allowed to do, they're not allowed to do a lot of hot dogging and all that kind of stuff. It's a pretty solemn thing. And the escort is the beginning of a great ball event. So if that is appropriate and you want to approve that, or
That
if you
sounds
have
great.
questions.
Well, thank you for that presentation. I do have a small question, where I'm sure they've got it kind of to be a specialized semi and trailer. Have we verified that it'll fit underneath the underpass that we have on Main Street?
Yeah, it's a tag along behind a F-350, so it's like,
not as high.
it's not a big semi or
Okay.
anything like that.
I just wanted to double check in case they had
And,
specialty.
It's not
trucking.
that heavy, and
Perfect. No, that's much appreciated. Any other questions or concerns?
How many people are you thinking of having, Roger? Can you hear me? How many people are you thinking are gonna attend roughly?
on the escort,
No, for the wall. I mean, what I'm getting to is
we're hoping to draw about 8,000 people.
as far as security for, are you requesting it from the state, the county? Who's providing security and
Well, we've talked to the Dawes County Sheriff's Office, we've given them the entire event schedule, the Nebraska Highway Patrol. We've had some recommendations that we probably ought to have Nebraska, my mind has gone blank now.
That's fine. So eventually, what I'm looking at is the bigger picture. You're talking 8,000 people over 2 days, 3 days, 4 days?
Well, it's actually gonna, it arrives on the 8th,
Okay,
and actually 1 year from today will be the takedown day.
nice.
Or
So
8 months from today will be the
with parking
takedown.
the way it is in this town, eventually we're gonna have people parking out on this highway.
Well, we're hoping that, our idea right now is to park west of the fire hall in that vacant field.
Okay,
And there's a very nice wide pull-in.
and you'll have somebody designate parking there, or just,
That's
free
what
flow,
we're
or-
suggesting to the sheriff's office.
okay, okay.
And with Grange Golf Course side by side, Bauer Campers is letting us use side by sides
To
to
transport
transport
people.
people. And we have a
Awesome.
designated handicap parking area.
Awesome. All right, thank you. Great. Thank you, Roger.
Any other questions?
Ashley,
about-
you had a statement you want to say?
I was just going to add that the Crawford Serving Humanities Board has had discussions about having people directing the parking situation as well. So we are planning to arrange volunteers for all sorts of, maneuvering and arrangements and things too.
Awesome.
So we've had some pretty thorough discussions.
Signage and all that
safety,
stuff, parking
Yeah,
and,
safety, where things are located and that kind of thing, so.
awesome. All right, thank you.
No,
And right before we make a motion, I'll just
We
take an
hope to put
opportunity.
handicap parking out in front of the community.
Right.
On that hard top, then it will be a lot closer for them to get to the
Thank
the
you.
event.
Go ahead.
No, you're good, you're good. Right before we make a motion, I'll just take an opportunity on our video here, our recorder. If anybody is interested in volunteering your time to help with this event, please reach out to City Hall and we can put you in contact with not only Roger Campbell, but the Crawford Serving Humanities Board. So if you're interested, please reach out.
Hey,
We'll go
while
ahead
we're,
and-
while we're
Sorry,
talking
go ahead.
about this, Jenny, We were talking with Roger yesterday, about, doing some temp power for this whole wall thing. Where the concession stand is, just north of that is a big green transformer. And there's 2 cedar trees that are kind of growing over the top of it. We need to get those 2 trees removed, please.
I don't know why he's got to you.
Mountain love, she's the hardcore.
I'm writing it on Kevin's to-do list.
Okay.
It's nice that he has an assistant for that to keep track of his to-do. Any other questions or concerns? Okay, we'll move forward. Do I have a motion to approve the proposed escort route?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Fromm, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Gaston.
From,
Yes.
Gaston, yes, Steve.
Yes.
Thank you. Number 6, discuss approve, disapprove request from the Wasiki Group. Angie Taylor will be presenting.
I don't think she showed up.
I know Moni is the one that put that in, and I don't know if she's here either. We can just, no action for this time, and they can come back. Okay, 17, discuss approve, disapprove for giving the RTS lien against the property located at 141 Lynn. The new property owner intends to make improvements to this property as well as 3 additional properties in town in order to return them to the tax base and reconnect to city utilities. I was really excited to actually put this on the agenda tonight. I do feel very strongly that any of the residents that we have here in town, if they're doing their due diligence to help us with cleaning up our community and getting everything reset, we need to do our part as the city to help them make that as possible, as for what we have access to. So, if there are any questions or concerns?
So this is forgiving how much?
It's just the liens that are on those properties, and I don't know what the total is. Those liens are against the previous owner as opposed to whoever bought the property.
It's just the RTS, which is a local fund.
Yes, yes. And then 2, the sooner we get those put back on to, just the tax base and reconnecting them to city utilities, that's income coming in, that's encouraging, and anything that we can do in order to support those properties becoming active and useful again is
Yeah, I have
wonderful.
a question.
You bet.
On this, you say it's just 141 Lynn. I thought when I spoke with you, we talked about
Yeah,
that.
we talked about all of them.
Yeah, and it's just 511 is the only other one that does.
So,
It's
there was
141.
one that we had just put on a recent meeting to assess the lien, but Jody hadn't had it got to the county courthouse yet, so it hasn't been fully processed yet.
Okay, because
So-
there wasn't anything on there about it either.
So, and I have no problem, I guess, with it being any of those 4, but I will have to leave it to you, council, to, but I would like to make that request on their behalf too. I mean, they're looking to take 509, 511, 523 to actually combine those to be one address later with the county. I don't know if you guys are familiar with those, what all of those areas are or not.
So, does the city have liens on this property then?
We have a lien on 141 Lynn, and we had intentions to have one on 511, but it was not processed at the courthouse yet, because it just happened in December. So with this coming to our front, I told Jody to hold off on that until we could understand more.
So this is lien on ready to serve, correct?
It would be ready to serve is what that lien was placed off of. Correct. Correct.
Yeah, I don't see, as long as, the intentions are to fix it up then
Oh, yeah.
within a given time frame?
I don't know how given it's gonna be, but it'll be as quickly as I can.
Yeah.
I mean, we've done it before on several other properties in this town.
I would like to see the property improved. I know the property well, so I'd love to see it improved, but I don't want somebody sitting on it for, 6, 7 years and saying.
Oh, I'm not gonna do
yeah,
that.
We've had that, we've had
I'm
that,
getting
I've
too
been
old
part
to
of
sit on
that,
it for
so,
6 or 7 years.
I'm not sure if we need to give you a time to say, okay, we will forgive this lien for the next 2 years, and if progress has not been made of sufficient, then now we go back to originally. I think we should,
Is that something we could have as a possibility to consider?
I think we need to cover ourselves and make sure these properties get, you know, people have all best laid intentions.
Sure.
I'm one of them.
I have track record to show that I do.
Well, that's fine, I appreciate that, but I've gotta cover the city's
Well, I understand that too, but I have no
too.
intention.
I am all for improving
I'm
properties,
not making it
100%.
to fruition.
Yeah. Yeah, I would be the only thing, I would make a stipulation that if it wasn't done in a certain time frame, that's something we could talk about going forward. You know, if you wanna just go ahead and approve it tonight, that's fine. But I think we need to set a precedent for time-wise to implement, to have these properties
Well,
fixed up.
and Doria, correct me if I'm wrong, you're looking for the back RTS charges.
Yeah, for the back
It's
ones.
still gonna be on RTS.
Yeah, it's still gonna be on the ready
Going
to serve,
forward.
it's
Right,
just
I
the ones that.
understand that, I'm talking about the back liens, that's what we are forgetting.
Yeah, I understand that, and I might not have bought the one for sure if it had been reported at the courthouse when we did due diligence on finding out what I was going to be having to pay.
Do you know what the amount is? I'm sorry to interrupt. What
It's-
amount?
It's almost 4,000.
Yeah,
On
it's like
141.
3,800.
Yeah,
On 141?
Mm-hmm.
yes.
The other one doesn't apply because it wasn't.
Right.
It wasn't
Okay, yeah,
recorded
and
as
I-
4,000.
there wasn't anything on it showing
Right.
that it was on there when I
Right, because
bought
it
that
hadn't been
one.
fully recorded. Go ahead.
But I will say that the 511, because I've been
Sure.
all over this since I've been on council, the 511, we kind of figured was unrecoverable.
Right,
So
so the opportunity to
the
get
fact
that
that
back
that
on
one
is
didn't get
exciting.
filed, we were out that money anyway, which is,
Well, that might have been a collectible even if we recorded it.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been,
And these properties will be on RTS going
They'll
forward.
go back on and that will, yeah,
They'll go back on just as soon as I get finalization on all the rest of them.
correct, correct. Yep. Any other questions or concerns?
I mean, the only issue is we did just spend a whole lot of RTS money on the water plant, on the second. But, so, you know, that fund has been depleted quite a bit. I don't know where it sits currently, but
It has, but I will rebuttal that too, that Jody has worked very hard in the last 18 months to make quite a bit of progress, and actually in the last 9 months, we have had 3-4 accounts that we thought were unrecoverable, we paid off in full.
Right.
And those were funds that we didn't think were possible, and they did come in, and they were possible, and so those are also pleasant surprises that I think, you know, those weren't funds we were counting on, that were nice to come in also, so.
yeah, I would
That
I
balances that
would
nicely.
reiterate that Jody has been
She's
doing
worked
a
very hard on that.
fantastic job on
Yes.
getting these RTS accounts cleaned up.
and this RTS account is not your issue, it's not your problem, not your fault. So I you know, I'm 100% for forgiveness. I really, really don't. I do think that there needs to be a time frame on there for forgiveness. I don't know what the,
A time frame as far as putting the property
As
back on
far
the
as
tax
you just-
rolls or what?
no, as far as just showing progress upon the work.
It'll
you
be
know.
cleaned up sooner. than
Yeah,
later.
that's right there.
And-
You know,
And it's not coming off the tax rolls anyway. It's
No,
still
it's
on
still
the
staying
No,
on there.
right, no, I
It's just
understand
gonna be
that.
a
I hear what-
safety.
I hear what you're saying.
It's not the issue.
I see what Brian is saying though, that we do need to set some sort of precedence, because this isn't the first time this has been asked by the council, and it's not gonna be the last time.
Correct.
So I think that setting a time frame for forgiveness is a good idea.
So I think what maybe needs the clarification for this time frame is what do you consider counting towards what you would like to see within that time frame?
Yeah, what do you,
That maybe
yeah, what do you
needs to be the
consider progress?
clarification,
What-
yeah.
What's the city looking for and what kind of time are you giving them? I mean, you're going to clean up the property, then I'm guessing you're gonna wanna rehabilitate it, put somebody in it eventually, and have somebody living there. So, you know, for us, that's a win-win, and for you. So, how do we
I
set
think
that?
the only thing that we could technically measure against, and correct me if I'm wrong, Adam, but if she can put the property, so that it is, how state that, free of offending any of our ordinances. If it's, how did I
Yes.
don't have the words to state that correctly,
No,
but if
you're
she's
right.
within
That makes
ordinance, if
sense.
she can put the
Right.
property back within ordinance
There you go.
within a certain amount of time, so it doesn't have to be rehabbed, it doesn't have to have people in it, it doesn't have to anything, it just has to not be,
Clean up.
it has to be within our ordinance with 0 offenses, or anything that would be an offense. I think that would be a reasonable way that is actually measurable, and we can actually hold someone to that, and I think that's something that could be, we could assess a reasonable time frame too. Does that sound fair or
Yeah, I think
possible? Is that reasonable?
Yeah, and if she's making improvements, won't she have to come before the planning commission?
It depends on what those improvements are, but yes, there's that possibility.
If it's a material change or not.
Yep, but if she's cleaning it up, she shouldn't. I mean, that,
Yeah, it's-
going back to within what the
only thing
ordinance
that
is
we
is
would
not.
worry about is cleaning it up.
But are these private sales as a former realtor? If a lien is on the property, they have to clean that before they can become legal owner.
It's my understanding most of these properties were auction sales, so they are a little bit different than just a regular private sale.
And
Yeah.
to be clear, RTS is a local charge. We can't forgive county taxes, we can't forgive those kinds of things. But RTS is a local charge that we can forgive. And this is probably as good a way you see in other places for development
Exactly.
as you can have.
Yeah, I'm all for it, I completely understand this,
Or is the property gonna be cleaned up within a year?
Well,
I mean, just,
I'm
I'm
gonna
not
put my
saying.
best effort forward,
I'm not,
yes.
I'm not saying usable in a,
Just
in a-
ordinance
in a
violations.
residential fashion, not saying that.
Yeah.
Is the grass gonna be trimmed, is the junk gonna be, I don't know.
Clear
the
junk's
property.
gonna be removed for sure.
That's what I'm asking, that's the bare minimum, those would be the
Yeah.
things that you'd get a letter from the city on to clean up.
The junk removed,
Yeah.
the vehicles, the
Anything
trailers,
violation.
all that stuff that's sitting around.
any hazardous or any, yeah.
Correct.
How about we, and I would be willing to put this in a motion, that we forgive the RTS on 141 Lynn Street. With the caveat as if there is no, letters sent in 2 years,
No ordinance violation.
no ordinance violations.
Then it'll be forgiven.
It'll be forgiven.
Well, it's forgiven right now. 'cause she-
Right.
Well,
she-
right.
She needs it to be forgiven
Right,
right
right.
now.
Yeah,
Right.
Adam, you'll have to draft the release lien, right?
Yeah.
So can you put that in the,
That might be challenging.
We can put some language in there.
And maybe we need
We
to,
won't
maybe
that's what I.
Do we need to just specifically assess a
The problem
fine?
is, the problem is.
Put a number on it and not just say that it would reinstate, but just assess a specific fine, unless that makes it
The
tougher.
problem is, if you release the lien, which I have absolutely no problem with, you're not gonna recapture it if in a year it's
don't
not
do it.
done.
Right, right.
100%.
We're
So
gonna
that's
be,
why-
we're gonna be sending her a letter saying clean up the lot.
Going forward.
I'm just using.
I understand.
Maybe this is something we need to set
But
as
with
an
that-
ordinance or.
Lien release,
But-
can you
but-
write it where
but-
if it's not done by that time, or if it has a
Once
ordinance
it's
violation
released,
within
it's-
that time?
Once it's released, it's released.
But if we have ordinance violation within that time due to release, it would assess a fine at the end.
We're in
because that's
control of
independent.
our fines ourselves, the RTS as a city.
The RTS, not the
Right.
fines. Fines
Okay.
have nothing to do with us.
Right, because that would
It's-
come from,
We file a complaint and the judge sets the fine.
okay.
My thought here is, and if we get more of these, maybe this is kind of came to us.
Yeah,
Sure
but
is.
this one is because the property has been vacated, and it's been vacated for a long time.
Dory's
I'm not talking
Dory's
about
gonna
somebody
be,
that's still
Dory's
living
gonna
in
be,
their place and
Dory's
doesn't-
gonna be an example as to whether we ever do this again. I mean,
We
really,
hope so too.
and we can think about the go forward, if we're not happy with how this plays out, but we still want to consider it.
We
Yeah.
just do not misunderstand my intentions.
Oh, I understand what you're saying.
I'm here to cover our
Yeah,
butts.
but I mean, I was just trying to get you to see that I have a track record.
Right.
I mean, we've taken buildings that nobody else wanted, and some that would have been torn completely down and and refurbish them back to use.
Yeah, I just think going forward for everybody, we need to do it, one does it, we need to do it for everything. And we need to set precedent.
What you have to
set-
realize, and I'm not saying that you, that, I mean, this property was completely abandoned, nobody was in any of this stuff. And to, relinquish this, ready to serve doesn't mean that someone that's still in their home that, hasn't paid their ready to serve. I don't want it to make a precedence on something
Oh,
like
no,
that.
no, that's
That
not
would
the
be
issue. That's a whole
different.
different issue.
Well, I know it's different, but I don't want somebody.
We have
to
plenty of
think
properties
because
here
I got mine
that
forgiven.
need to be, and I think that this is a
But
great.
this incentivizes
Exactly.
a third party from saying,
Correct.
we have this property, we're gonna try to buy it, but it's common community development tactic.
Right.
You know, we have a fund here. The backside of this is a little difficult because we're judging later.
Well, there is a precedent, people coming in from out of town, from the area, buying up a property and then sitting on it, not doing anything with it.
I understand
You
that.
know, so it has been proven. And so we need to set an established rule going forward somehow, that this is what the city needs to do to protect us. Because if we don't force these properties to get fixed up, they'll sit forever. People just don't do anything about it.
So could the city policy be to just delay the release of the lien? No, for 1 year?
The problem,
She needs it for
the
release.
problem in this instance is that it's time sensitive.
Right.
Sure.
With the lien, she's not interested in the property.
I don't,
If I'm correct.
Yeah, because I haven't closed on it.
I don't
And if
have
we
a-
don't release the lien, that changes the purchase too.
Yeah, I'm only
Through the
I
closed
don't
on
have
it.
a problem releasing the lien. What I'm,
Sure.
is the RTS that's back, that, whether it's your problem or not, that property owes RTS funds that have been paid. So as an incentive, we use that as, not a fine, it is, okay, if this property is not put back into working order or not within our ordinances, then those are back on. And we can set those, we have set those, they're there, they're not
No.
fines.
The RTS, and we're not taking it off the RTS rolls. It's still gonna be on the RTS rolls.
But they're still back. That's what,
So you wanna,
the taxes, back taxes.
So remove, you're
forgiving
suggesting
them.
removing the lien, but use it as like a holdover note on the city's
sure,
account that can
yes.
be reassessed
It can be
at a later
reassessed
date.
at that 2-year mark, or
If
whatever
that's
that
even
mark, any
possible.
property, it's not just hers, any
The
property
lien is
that
on
is,
real estate,
what's that?
Correct.
not
the lien's gonna have, the lien to clear title, the lien has to come off.
Right, right, and I think what you've tried to say is, yes, you're okay with that as long as we have a way to, if it's
Can we
without
re-
violation for the
Can we
year,
recapture?
how do we recapture the
If we-
funds that would
Okay, I'm
have
gonna do this.
assessed with the lien?
If you forgive this, be aware, Dory,
Okay.
that if we can recapture it within, and I'd say years reasonable.
I think 2 years, I think 2 years.
That's your
That's
decision.
what,
If we can recapture, we'll come up with some agreement that we'll have you sign that says, we'll.
Well, see, you have to realize now that I'm gonna have to hire most of this done, so be careful with where you're.
Well,
going.
I'm not saying you have to have it done next Tuesday.
Well, I understand
I don't
that.
think that's what
I
they're
think 2
saying.
years
No,
is plenty
no,
of time.
and like,
That,
I
I said, we
think-
gotta figure that out.
Like we
I'll
discussed,
go
it needs
along
to be
with
something that we
2
can be measurable, because not
Right.
only in your instance,
Right.
and in future instances, it needs to be something that we can have that's measurable, so that we can assess it to ordinance. So if we just use our ordinance or ordinance violations as that measurable,
Okay, well, let's go with a year, because, I mean, a year's a lot easier to, because if something should happen, you get what I'm saying? Sure. You know, I mean,
So
I
you
just.
want it, now, be clear to me though, 2 years to get it in compliance or just one? Or,
You're the one that said
so,
one.
well, I said one because I was looking at it from a different direction than you
Okay.
think. I was looking at it, the time that she's got it cleaned up and hasn't had any violations for a year. I think you're looking at it from, she'll have it
that timeframe to be
operational
within.
within 2 years. Is that what you're thinking? I think we're coming at it from a little different angle.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that's probably, I understand what you're saying, and you're probably right, but you know, to have somebody, have it cleaned up, to have somebody put in 2 years, a year, I don't think we can do that, but
I don't think we
if we're
can
gonna abide by
have somebody
the,
in
right,
the
if we're gonna abide
I don't
by,
necessarily know if that one property is gonna have
Even
anybody
have
in
it.
it at all.
Right.
It just has
100%.
to, I think we can only go with,
So slow
it
down.
has to be without violation, not necessarily
I
somebody
agree
in
with
it.
that, 1 year.
So
and
1 year to
not
be compliant with
like
city ordinance.
City ordinances.
I think that's.
I think that is.
Measurable and
And we
fair.
can come up with some, whether we can be capturing out, we can come up with some agreement that, and going forward, it might, if we have this come from
But that
somebody
sounds
else.
like a
We're
simple
working
enough
fast
standard.
here
It's
because
easy
this
to
is.
follow, it's
Yeah.
easy, you've got it
That
all
sounds
down
like a simple
ordinances.
standard, so
We've got it.
1 year,
Do you
1 year
think that's
to become
okay,
within,
Dory?
within
To have-
compliance.
Is that, is that
Just in
Within,
compliance.
within compliance ordinances?
Yeah, no
A full
problem
year.
with that.
You're okay with that? You're our guinea pig, unfortunately. But I think this, it is gonna come up, there
But this might be a good thing for people
Yes.
around
It
town
is
to
a
get.
good thing.
To say, hey.
I mean, because it's been more than long enough for those people to make restitution or whatever
For
you want
sure.
to call it for
Correct.
paying.
And it's not your problem.
Some people aren't, and some are uncollectible. That's just fact of life.
But my thing is, I don't want somebody else to just come in and do the same thing over again.
Request the same thing and then not deliver.
and
And then not,
So,
I
correct,
understand
correct,
that too,
So,
so.
okay, we'll come up with some agreement.
Okay.
Okay, well,
Do you have a question?
Let's just say really quickly, Sahad.
I would really encourage you to not be so concerned about things going wrong before things go right. We've got somebody who wants to invest in our community. So let's clear the plate for her and give her a clean slate to do something positive for this community. Don't we already have ordinances and property care rules in place that if 2 years from now, things have gone south for her, from that source, you could make fees and fines and whatnot? That we don't have to hook on to the lease that's.
So those are why the ones that were the ones that did create the lien, those are exactly what happened, what we have in place that became that. And so I believe you're referring to the work that we'd put in with the previous owner,
Yeah.
going through that process. And so I think what Mr. Fromm is trying to do is we hate to lose that progress that we attempted to make with the previous owner in recapturing those fees that we were owed and we were due. Only because we do have so many properties that fall within those same violations and same means of we're not sure if we'll ever get it or not. So
But
as much as we want, and I think that's why it's important and why I'm so appreciative that this board is really trying to be so considerate, but also so cautious and very aware of setting a precedence. Because that precedence is what's gonna give us the teeth to not only protect her, but to also protect the city too. Because it's gonna give her a fair means to put it back and to not have that lien and to have access to, the extra money that she'll save by not paying that previous owner's
or I get
fines.
it cleaned up sooner.
Yeah, and then too, it gives us peace of mind too, if she can hold to what we've requested, for that to all come back on.
I'm all for keep it simple, and I think your beef is with the previous owner, not with her or any new owners of any property, because I would sure hope that this investment would create more investment.
I think you misunderstood me, because I am 100% behind this.
Mhm.
I wish for somebody to, my job here is to protect the city. That's who I represent, is the city, all of you. And to protect the city going forward, we have so many properties that are bought from outside people or outside that do nothing with them. I can take you downtown and I can show you property after property after property that's not been taken care of or not being fixed or nothing's getting done. So my thing is, if we're going forward, and I'm not picking on Dory, because I'm 100% behind her. I'm willing to forgive that. But I want to see progress. I don't want to just sit by and say the same old words, because it hasn't. It's not.
Again, it's to incentivize.
It is.
The cleanup. And the city taking the position, we're willing to do this, but we want, the carrot's kind of in front of the stick a little bit here, because it needs to be released to make this deal happen. Ideally, if you have somebody going in to buy a piece of property, you put a year on it, and then at the end of the year, if you've done everything right, we'll release it at that point. That's how I've seen it done more places than not, but this is time sensitive. So think it's a positive thing. It incentivizes her. We'll figure out an agreement.
Yeah.
If after 6 months you gotta take it cleaned up, and I'm not saying usable. I'm not saying it just needs to be mowed, junk out of the yard, anything that's in our leader ordinance, gone.
Right.
Yeah, as long as it passes city ordinance, I like that.
And also, I would add that, you know, I think the big reason behind this discussion is $3,800 is a lot of money. A very short time ago, the unpaid RTS accounts were above $70,000. That's a lot of money out of Edwards' operating budget.
Okay.
So it's not, yeah, so it's not so much beef with the previous owners even, but it's giving ourselves the tools that we need in order to help everyone stay within good graces of the city, stay within the, I mean, we want to set everyone up for success. You can't make laws that are unattainable and then be sad that everybody's breaking the laws. So it's to keep in mind and to build it so it works for both parties and that everybody can move forward.
Well, and I would hope that the city council and that the mayor has eyes on attracting business, attracting investment, and attracting people to our community, and not punishing people for the sins of other folks, for the sins of the past.
This will
And I
set
think this is
precedent.
exactly that.
This is exactly that.
This is letting it
We
go
still-
and not punishing.
Yeah, people come in here and they see all these empty properties and they're just in disrepair. Who wants to come and move in here? And so let's start cleaning it up. 100%. This sets a precedent, and I think Dory's on board with that.
Oh, and the ordinance enforcement.
Yeah, I think this is
Powerful.
But, so,
Thank you.
Dora makes a good point though, this agreement will be, if she's 6 months out, she's got it cleaned up. And again, I'm not saying she's renting it, I'm just saying that she's in
Right,
compliance. She's in compliance,
Yes.
then she's done.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Then let's say 2 years from now,
1 year or less.
sure, let's say
I don't
she
know.
gets it all rebuilt, ends up with a renter, that renter has started to move 6 new vehicles and stopped mowing their lawn. That does not then revisit this lien or anything else.
Right,
That's all
right.
independent and
That's
will be
all-
treated as a new
Start
single
over.
independent
Right.
violation.
And everything starts over.
Fair.
Well, that's just, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's,
I think that's, yeah.
but I don't have a problem clarifying that, so.
1 year.
Sure. Okay, so with that discussion, would it be fine to also include 511? Because it's in limbo, and just for clarification, so we have something to go back to. But where it went through our
This
meeting,
is not a recording.
it went through our meeting as approved. It just did not get
There is
recorded.
our-
So in order to just verify that that is not to go on either, it would be my request to include that also, or at least to consider it. So if someone is comfortable with making, from the discussion we've had, a motion to approve, I would take it.
I'll make that motion. Move that we forgive the lien against is it 141?
Yep.
And 501?
511.
511, Lynn Street with
111, or excuse me,
141
141 Lynn
Lynn
and
Street.
511 Elm.
511 Elm.
Correct.
With, as long as it's passed the court, ordinances within 1 year. Am I missing something?
I think that was
See what that looks
1 year. Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, roll call.
Ron?
Yes.
Gaston?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
And with the conclusion of 17, thank you, everyone. Thank you for the interaction, for the communication. Thank you also for bringing this to our attention, for buying the properties that you, and the effort that you're going to put forward. So all of it, thank you, everyone, for your participation on that. We'll move forward to the next part of this. This is the second half, number 18. Discuss, approve, disapprove, consolidating 509, 511, and 523 Elms into one RTS account, as they are all adjacent properties. And in addition to that, it is our intention to apply to the county to merge all 3 of those properties also.
So this is gonna open up a big can of worms, because
How's that?
we have had, other people in town that are, landlords that have multiple, properties.
But they're not adjacent.
that are adjacent,
are
that
adjacent,
have
okay.
applied to this council in years past, and it's been denied because the original intent of the adjacent property clause in the RTS is that it's for, an adjacent vacant lot, or if they build a garage, or they put a
So one
garden.
residence,
Not multiple
not
residents.
multiple residents.
So if we let this go, we are going to get inundated with other people in town that are gonna come back and say, well, I want mine, forgiven too, or
Okay,
combined.
so I will add to that, or I will at least rebuttal to that, and Adam can correct me to see if this is possible. We're just really making work tonight, aren't you? Sorry about that. We can put that, you know, where we do know that she has intention to actually merge those within the county. We can say that we will merge that as long as it's merged within the county within 1 year time, 6 months time, whatever. Because then, if it's merged within the county, we're gonna recognize it as one lot ourselves, and so that still files under one RTS.
I did the same thing on the other side of these outlots over there at 704, 702, and 708. There were 3 residents. One was torn down when we first got the property, the second one we tore down, so there's only one house over there, and we went to the city, to the county and replatted them all together, and that's what I intend to do on this other side.
So, Dory, would it be all right if we take no action on this tonight till, once you get, once the assessor, because we've forgiven the RTS.
Right.
Once we get something from the assessor saying, then we can revisit this?
Okay,
Because if it's been processed over there, then that makes it really easy
Yes.
for us to accept it as just one property, one residential property, because they've all 3 been
One
combined.
has a dwelling on it that's already caving in, the other one has a trailer on which I'm trying to make it so that someone either tears it down or pulls it out of there, so there will only be one house on it, and then when I get
So
to.
forgive me, Dory, is this right adjacent to the railroad tracks there?
Yes.
Is that
Pretty much.
correct?
There's one, the back half of the outlot is adjacent to the railroad tracks, there is one more residence on the, west
It's
side.
509, so 509's over here.
It's like right off of Fifth Street, if you drive straight down Fifth Street into Elm, it's that house that's right there, and the yellow trailer that's next to it, and then the property that's
Is that the one that burned down?
to the west.
No, it didn't burn down, but do me a
I
favor.
don't find Elm, that's. Oh, okay, so you're right by the viaduct then.
So it's, the front has a little wheel nose and everything.
Okay, okay.
Is that, would that be okay if we revisit it when?
No, that's
this-
fine,
the
as soon as I
assessor-
close on all these, I plan on going.
Let's
to
just
the
take no
courthouse.
action on this tonight, and Dory, let us know when that's been combined.
Yeah,
That
makes
way
it
we
easy.
can work through our ordinance on the RTS.
Well, cause you had done that over on Annan Street, and I just had one ready to serve over
That
there,
way-
even before the county's the one that suggested to me to put them all together, because.
That way we'll be consistent, but if you get that done with the assessor, bring it to us, then we'll
Alright,
revisit
sure,
it.
I'll do
And
that.
then that makes it, yeah, consistent with what
So
we have
I'll
to.
make it easier on you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
We like that.
Okay, 19, discuss approve, disapprove purchase of underground sprinkler maintenance materials proposal presented by Kevin Hall, please.
It's been a long meeting, so I'm gonna try to keep it short. Asking for forgiveness or groundbreaking stuff here. But there are certain needs that we need for the ball fields, and for the park down there. We've gotten, I think, those pieces of properties up to a certain level and everything, and what we need are some supplies to keep it up and going. The final number that I have here is a little bit big, so I'm gonna break it down and kind of tell you where everything's going real quick. Ball fields here need certain sprinkler heads that can do the coverage on the fields. They're $40 a piece. I'm asking for 12, and that comes out to $482. So that's a case of sprinkler heads for the ball fields over here. We replaced 48 of them last year, and there's 96 heads in those ball fields. So we're gonna have more failures as old as it is and everything. For the park, I'm asking for a case of heads down there. They're $10.20 a piece. They're 20 per case, so I'm asking for a case. That's $210.18. I'm also asking for some more hose. Over time, they've disappeared, they break, you know, when you bug them, ban them. so many times and everything. I'm thinking 500 feet of hose would be good. I also want to get hose for the tree park over here next to the community building, because Roger is bringing a big tent, and we want to get some grass growing in that area and everything, and we just don't have the hose to take care of the park at the same time. 500 feet of hose, if I get 75 footers, I think that'll suffice. If I get 7 of them, then 525 feet, that's in from up to $364. And then also the sprinklers, they wear out, break over time and everything. So I want 10 sprinklers that we can interconnect, hoses, so we can run multiple sprinklers on a hose, hence to take care of the tree park over here and everything. Asking for 10 of those, they're $18 a piece, so it'd be $180. And then the grand total for everything, I'm asking for $1,236.
Are these all funds, or all within what we had projected for budget? Or is any of them outside of what we expected to consider for budget?
We couldn't talk about our budget because our final PERC meeting was zeros.
We found items.
But when we were looking to prepare our budget, when we were doing budget workshops and whatnot, did we have those items in consideration when we built our
Yes,
budget?
we did. Yes,
We did.
And actually, I mean, this is kind of a bare minimum of what I would
Sure, well, and that's
actually
not,
propose.
it's not
for
an
our
extraordinarily
business.
high
Yeah,
number. But I just, as long as it's something that we had in mind when we built our budget, then it's a lot easier to know that we already know that we've got it earmarked for that, and that makes it easy to make happen pretty.
Budget for maintenance and repairs? Yes.
Yeah.
So absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, you know, spring's almost right around the corner, it's
Right.
here already, you know, I'm trying to get ahead of all these things that are gonna be coming up when we start running and operating and everything.
Well, and I will say thank you to you and your team. It is very obvious that you worked very hard, whether we had the wall coming or not. It's been very, very obvious to us that you built our parks, and it's
So
done
it's
such
just,
a
yeah, it's just
substantial.
a cost of operating and everything,
1296, is that?
1236.
Yeah, 30%.
Do I have a motion?
I will move that we approve $1,236 for maintenance and repairs.
Wonderful. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Roll call.
Crum?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
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 Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for the presentation and your continued hard work. Number 20, discuss, approve, disapprove the increase of city sales tax. This is an item that we've discussed kind of on again and off again for a while now, but we are getting close enough to the election.
And really all you need, we need to prepare a resolution that has to be approved by 70% of this board, that needs to be to the county clerk, election commissioner by March 1st. So you have to, in the resolution, you have to direct Terry and I to figure out what you want in the resolution as far as increase, in terms of a half cent.
So I looked into it, and we have to specify
Yep.
for the project that we're gonna use those funds.
Keep the city
According to
alive.
the language I put in.
Some of it you do, some of the infrastructure can be, it's.
Infrastructure,
it's
is a
infrastructure.
term in there.
Yeah, yeah. We'll have to create, and we'll dig up some resolutions from other places.
Okay.
All we need is direction to say go forward at this point.
Can somebody catch me up here?
You bet, you bet. So when we were originally, I think the first time that we had spoke about it within council and within a council meeting, with what we have here, the first time we started mentioning that was probably during budgets, when we were sitting down and talking about and discussing budgets and building current budget that we are on right now. We talked about how we are overdue moving the city from a 1.5% city sales tax up to the 2% of what many rural communities in Nebraska have done previously to us.
We are one of the last in the state.
We are one of the last. So that is what we have been throwing around, considering, putting the word out, speaking about how and why we use that, what that 0.5% would end up being for the city. It is estimated to be around $50,000 in the long run. If it is consistent from what we make now, it would add only that. I hate to say only that, but it is, unfortunately, with everything costing as much as it does anymore, it would be only that. But it is an opportunity for us to have additional funds at not the only expense of our residents. It is an opportunity to cash in on those that visit us.
City retains the full amount of that?
Yes.
Yes, because that is
This is
just
on
the
the
city, so the
city.
state was the 5.5, and that's our 1.5 matches that for the 7.5. But if we go up to 2, then that would change.
And it's a ballot question, Ryan.
What's that?
It's a ballot question.
Right, for sure.
So,
Right. Yeah, it wouldn't be on us.
Right, correct. And we, and as Adam has instructed us, we're okay to discuss it until we do make it a resolution, and then
And
once
that needs
it's
to be done by May.
March
March.
1,
March
it has to be approved to the election commissioner for placement on the ballot for the primary.
And then at that time, it is not to be discussed until it's decided by our community.
But we can stipulate where that funds go to.
They're within the standards of what it means for that state statute. It tells us what we have options for.
There's some broad infrastructure, there's some broad.
50,000 doesn't touch much infrastructure.
No,
So it'll be easy to use it all in one area.
But
Yes.
where we're at right now is 0.5% or 0.5%, and we have to craft a resolution. And you got a little time, but for nice purposes, you just need us to go forward and draft the resolution.
Any questions or concerns, comments?
All right.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Well, just.
Moving forward, we don't need that?
Collectively, we need
Okay.
a motion.
All right, so collectively, we're good with moving forward.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Adam. Number 21, discuss, approve, disapprove relinquishing the city pool owner to the pool committee. Now, I would say you guys gave me a new name, but I didn't write it down at the time. Presented by Brian Fromm.
We discussed
Look
this
at
a
you
little
working
bit. Yeah, I
from
know,
multiple
right?
directions.
So, friends of the pool,
Thank you.
but Crawford Area Fund is basically the undersigner. So, to me, if it's the wishes of this council, we need to come up with an agreement of understanding with that entity, if you will, as to what this spells out.
We had a talk after I proposed this, and I think we're all in agreement that we would like to see, give this a year and see how this works first, and then see what the benefits are of putting it in co-op and making the citywide owned by the committee. We want to see if this is even possible first,
Fair.
you know,
So 1 year agreement.
Yeah.
Trial
Well,
basis.
no, not even that. Right now, let's leave it where it is. Let us see if we can get it up and function, which I know we can get that done. We can operate it, and what funds are out there, what grants are out there to help. The municipality part of it is not so much, we could tap in a lot of grants, I'm pretty sure, being owned by the citizens of the community. So right now, we would like to leave it as status quo. We would like to have a MOA, right? Jenny, where are you at? We would like to have an MOA signed with the city, an agreement for 1 year, and then we can readdress this. And we can give you solid numbers then, we'll know where we're at. And if it's even possible, or if the city would like to relinquish it, if we even on it, you know, so,
Well, I just was coming up with an MOA, agreement of understanding, kind of the same. Because for the grant, you're probably gonna have something with the city that shows,
100%.
that shows you have authority to do what you're
100%.
requesting the money for.
100%, and we need to get, if we could get that signed, the sooner the better.
And I've got your draft, and I think we can work off that, Brian, a little bit.
Okay.
So
We'll
with-
come up with something.
So with that, does that mean that do we need to keep the pool, the line item pool in our budget?
Depends on what the agreement is. I mean, I think you would keep a pool for at least this
For
year.
at least
For
this
this
year,
year,
even if we
nothing's-
don't use it,
and
but
then
you
on the-
guys could have it
then-
by request if needed be
Then
as
on the-
backup.
Yeah, then on the go
Okay.
forward, we figure out where we're gonna go, but I
Yes.
think, yes, you've already budgeted, it's
So-
there.
Yes.
Leave it as a safety net until we make a decision
Yes.
of what we would like to do in the long run.
Right, let's
Know
see,
that don't sound
let's see what the
unreasonable.
Friends of the Pool can do,
Sure.
and if we can get it up and going, then we'll readdress whether it would be in
That's
our
fine.
best interest and the city's best interest to relinquish that.
I do like that you have a 501c3 backing you. I had a problem, not with the committee, but it wasn't an entity.
Yeah.
And when you talk about grants and those kind of things, what's the entity?
Right.
What's the protections here? So I appreciate that you've done that. I think that makes this way more tenable. Let's get together and get an agreement.
All right.
Do you need a motion to move
No.
forward with the agreement? Okay. Any other questions or concerns?
Brian, sorry, let me forget it.
We appreciate that. All right, at that, we will move forward 22, approve bills and claims, requisition orders, and transfers. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve bills, claims, requisitions, orders, and transfers.
Second.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call.
Gaston,
Dean?
Yes.
Abstain.
Thank you. Yep. Motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Thank you. Second. Thank you. Thank you so much for all joining us tonight, for as long as tonight's meeting was. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
You just need to come sit and make your changes. Only, you just need to take a few minutes. You're welcome. I don't blame you for being sick, but it's a good time
so April, before you take off,
Thank you.